Hello, everyone. Hi. I don't know why I said that so weird. Hello. Welcome back to my channel. This month I have a very exciting video for you. So I've seen a lot of speed arts on the YouTube recently, and something I haven't seen a lot of is speed arts from the animation side of YouTube. Well, not like the animation side, I guess. The 3D animation side? There's like a whole like subculture of animation. I don't know if you could really call it a subculture yet because it's so small, but like there's sort of a subculture of animation that is 3D animation, which is like not as big, I guess, because it's so much harder to do. I mean, I don't know if it's like, yeah, I'd say it's quite a bit harder to do. But anyway, a subculture in YouTube, yes, animation, 3D. And there's not like speed arts for 3D animation, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So that's what I'm doing in this video. This is a speed sculpt, as I like to call it now. And it's basically the same as a speed art, but just like with 3D modeling. So yeah, that's what I'm doing here. And I'm eating an apple while I do it. So if last month, okay, I have a spiel for you guys. Last month I did a whatchamacallit, I did another Pokemon challenge with Preston, and I was so upset because I did all the drawings, which took forever. The theme was gonna be there's like the new Pokemon, the new generation that just came out on the Switch, and I redrew a bunch of those and came up with some of my own, and like some of the Galarian forms, which is like the new Alola forms, which is kind of cheap. And the audio didn't record. Those of you who have been here for a while know that that's like a theme on my channel almost, is that I'll make a bunch of really fun, exciting stuff, and then the audio doesn't record and I have to just get rid of it because there's nothing else I can do, literally. Like, that video is gone forever. And I can't redo the video because at that point Preston had already seen all the designs, so he knew which ones were real and which ones were fake. And I literally have no one else to do these videos with. Like, who's gonna do it with me? My mom? Yeah, no, they all look evil. So yeah. And also, speaking of audio, I realized that speed art that I did last month was kind of like, it looked very thrown together and very, it wasn't very exciting because it was just like the video of like the drawing and stuff, which I guess is like fun to watch for some people, but like I had recorded piano, but like while I was editing the thing, I muted the piano because I didn't want to just have to keep listening to the same part over and over. Forgot to unmute it, and apparently that carries over to the final product. So I know that for next time, but there are a lot of things that I know for next time that I haven't used every next time. So I'm dumb. Also, I think I just realized that on this Tails, I like created 2 cuts in the head where the ears were supposed to go, and then didn't use both of them. Oh no, okay, I just added another one. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, the reason there hasn't been any like actual animation stuff on this channel for a while is because I've been learning how to make these characters in the 3D workspace, which has been really fun, but also really stressful because most of the tutorials on YouTube for 3D animating have very different like methods to go about different, like the same ends, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So you'll like, if you start watching one series on like how to model a character, for example, if you switch series halfway through, the other guy might have presets on or like different modes and settings that he may have talked about earlier in the tutorial, but that he didn't mention like going through because he's not going to say it in every episode. So there was a lot of, especially when I was trying to color these things, that was like definitely the biggest obstacle that I ran into, was that I would try one method and like for one reason or another it wouldn't work because I didn't like have all the information already that I needed. So like there's not like a master plan of like you should learn these steps before you try to do anything like this. So I had no idea how to use node editing, which if you're like a 3D animator, you know that's definitely like a really big part of 3D animation. I knew nothing about it. I didn't even know what it was. I didn't know it existed. And so I was trying to color these characters with like just the with just like giving them a base color and then drawing on top of that, which wasn't working, and I had no idea why. So yeah, it was it was definitely an experience, I'll tell you that. But I'm actually like really happy with how this Tails turned out. I don't know why I did this, but for some reason I used Shade Smooth instead of adding a subdivision surface modifier. I don't know why I did that, but it definitely doesn't look as good as it probably would have if I had used that. Oh, okay. If you look at like the part I'm doing now, you're probably really confused at what I'm doing. So basically, the shoes that I was trying to model for this character were too fat for the character to be standing upright in. So I had to like spread the legs apart, which like, I wish I had found some other way to do this, because when you do that, you can no longer look at it perfectly in front or like perfectly flat, or like, you know, like you can't have the perfect side view, the perfect front view, it's really, really important to have those anchors whenever you're 3D modeling stuff, because I'm pretty sure that these shoes ended up turning out a little bit lopsided, or maybe like a little bit, I don't know, something was off about them. Because I couldn't like figure out the exact angle that I was supposed to have everything at. So that was really frustrating. I spent way longer on those shoes than I should have. Another thing that was really difficult about trying to 3D animate was that whenever I rendered the final product, I'm used to like to Adobe Animate, where you render it and it shows what's on the screen, nothing more, that's it. But like with this, there's like coding involved, and like, I don't know, it's just really convoluted, I think. And so when I tried to render all three of these, I ended up with a finished product that looked like what I had intended for it, but everything was purple. And I know that that's like...
from Sonic the Hedgehog?
Yeah, what character?
Tails?
Yeah, good job.
Okay, so here's the finished product. I gave each of these characters a cute little animation to do, like, just so that I wasn't wasting a model that I had just created, because I felt like I needed to do something with this, you know? Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so when I rendered the characters, everything was completely purple, which I believe was because I didn't have a background texture or something. I'm not entirely certain how that happens still, which I probably should figure that out if I'm gonna make more of these, because the plan is to completely switch over to 3D animation until I can afford Adobe Animate again, unless I like it a lot, in which case I would just obviously stay with 3D. But for now, I'm probably gonna switch back to, oh my goodness, I'm probably gonna switch back to Adobe as soon as possible. So the first character I did, I should probably explain the whole theme of this video and why I just did a model of Tails. So, wait, did I explain that already? Maybe, I don't know. So the theme of this video, if I haven't mentioned it already, is characters that I would like to see in Super Smash Bros. Whatever the next game is, or if they do like an expansion like they did with the 3DS and they add a bunch more characters that you have to pay for, whatever. I would like to see Tails. I'm surprised actually that he's not already in the game. Like when I was coming up with ideas for this video, I was like, oh, Tails would be fun. Wait, Tails is already in the game, but he's not. So yeah, I'd definitely like to see him in the game. I think he would be able to have a really cool moveset with like his tails like flinging around and like hitting people, which I kind of showcased whenever I animated my model. Apologies for the Apple ASMR. Yeah, so this next one is Master Hand, which I thought was a pretty creative idea, but of course I thought that because it's me. So I don't know about how this turned out. I'm kind of happy. I'm kind of feeling like I probably could have done better, but I don't know. Hands are actually extremely complicated. Like, it's like having an entire, like, another human's worth of armature and, like, complexity in just, like, the simple part of a human. So, yeah, even when I'm just doing a hand by itself without an entire human to go with it, it's still a pretty complicated process. So, I'm pretty happy with how the animation at the end turned out, though, because I found that I could pretty easily like figure out how a hand is supposed to move, and how like I've played like the original, not the original, but the GameCube, the Smash Bros. On the GameCube. I don't know which one that is. I think it's Brawl. No, that's Wii. Melee. I think that's Melee. I played that a lot, and the theme was always like when you defeat the character, you get to play as them. So that's what I thought would happen with Master Hand, but I was really disappointed. I was really young then too. We would play Smash Bros. We would go to my grandma's house, and in her little town in Arkansas, there was a mall. It closed down since. I don't know what happened to it, but it literally looked like something out of a zombie movie. Like it looked completely abandoned. There was like maybe 2 workers in the whole mall, because most of it was already like shut down, I guess. And there were these little like, they were kind of like arcade machines, but they were like big plastic boxes that had like the screen of the TV inside, and like the controllers hanging out of it. and they were like connected so that no one could like pull them off and then take them home or anything. And I remember one of the games was Smash Bros. Melee on there, and I thought that was such a cool game, but I was really upset because my parents wouldn't let me and my brother get our own Smash Bros. Game because it was too violent. Which I guess I understand, like, you don't want your kid, like, I guess, I don't know what they were worried about, but, like, I don't know, having, like, violent tendencies or something, which I guess is valid. Oh, this was an interesting process. So when I did the arm part of Master Hand, because, like, it's not just a hand, there's also, like, it comes back and it's an entire glove being pulled, like, somewhat up the forearm. When I was creating the forearm part of it, I realized that, and it's gone by now, but when I started talking, I realized that the arm was too flat. So I had to go in and one by one be like, take the very center vertice, which is those little dots that you see me working with throughout this video. I had to take the middle vertice, move it up a little, then take the middle and the slightly outer vertices and move them up, and then keep doing that and building until it was an actual, like, kind of circular kind of thing. So yeah, that was fun. It's very interesting, I think, taking on different kind of challenges and different sorts of armatures, different shaped creatures in this sort of 3D workspace like Blender, because when you're working with something like this, like Tails in the last one, you get to be really, really creative with, like, how you set up the armature, how you give it a skeleton system, which is basically the armature, and how you, like, use shapes and different, like, I guess just shapes to create the model of the character. I think it's a really neat process. Okay, so here's another thing. My family especially, like, talk when we had Thanksgiving, and I would, like, show them these animations that I made. They'd be like, "Oh, you should become an animator. I bet you do so well in this." And I was like, "Really? I never actually, like, thought about this, but I guess it's possible." But I don't know if I could see myself sitting in front of a computer for a full day, you know? Like, I feel like, and I've never, like, job shadowed an animator. I don't really know what it's actually like, but I just feel like I would get really sick of it really fast. And maybe not. Maybe I would, like, love it to death, but, oh, I just bumped you. Sorry. Oh my goodness. I just realized that, the video shows me, like, switching tabs and looking at the piano thing that I'm watching. Yeah, I like listening to piano music in the background. It's great. But yeah, I don't know if I could ever see myself, like, sitting in front of a computer all day, because that's kind of, like, what I've always, like, been like, okay, I'm gonna have a job, but it's not gonna be a job where I'm sitting at a computer all day, because I want to, like, go outside and, like, do stuff, you know? And then here I am, like, contemplating whether I should get a job where I sit at a computer all day. Oh my. Eat apples, kids, every day. Unless you have braces. Well, still, like, have your mom cut them up. No excuses. Okay, so here's something interesting. So I don't know how long ago it was, but I mentioned in some video or something, I talked about the Book of Dragons that I had made when I was really young. I actually found it in my closet a couple days ago, and I didn't look at it because I wanted to save it for you guys. I'm such a YouTube boy. Anyway, oh gracious, this was the first one that I did, and I'm honestly not that proud of it. Because I did like a lot of shapes, but like the shapes that I made, I didn't truly connect them to the other shapes. Like these cheeks, that I made, they're just circles that are stuck onto another circle. They're not actually truly connected to each other, which came back and bit me hard when I was trying to animate this. Anyway, so I don't know how excited y'all were for when I mentioned that Book of Dragons idea, but I think I'm gonna have to eventually go with it because I still have a lot to learn about 3D animating before I can actually put out a video that I can like be proud of. So I'm I'm basically surviving off speed arts and just speed arts and other extra videos. So I'm probably gonna pop out the archives and look at some of my old art for y'all and react to it together. Especially since that's gonna be way easier of a video than I've done for the longest time. My last gaming video was like 2 years ago now. Not 2. Maybe 2. 1 or 2 years ago. And those, looking back, why did I switch? Because those are so much easier to just toss out at the public and be like, alright, I just need an easy vid real quick. I don't know, maybe I'll do like another gaming series. I don't know if y'all actually want that, because like, for one, y'all don't talk at all anymore. Like the gaming channel, y'all are crazy, but like the animation community, I guess the community is kind of like the people that are actually in the community, like making the community. So like the actual animators are the people that the fans are kind of like, I would assume. So introverts, people who don't talk, which is fine. I'm an introvert too, so I totally get it. I guess I'd probably come across as more of an extrovert on my channel, because I don't know, I'm kind of more willing to be crazy in front of a camera than I am in front of actual people. Maybe that's just how like all like YouTube animators are, now that I think about it. That's probably it. That we're just looking at a webcam and like talking. Not even a webcam, we're just talking, and then we have like complete control over every millisecond literally of that the person sees. So we can fix our mistakes. We definitely have ample time for that. So I don't know, I guess that's possibly what draws introverts to YouTube animation. Honestly, I'm not completely upset with how this Boshi actually turned out, because it does very certainly look like Boshi, and the coloring was definitely the roughest on this one, and the Tails one was definitely the best. I don't know why I went from best to worst. It's kind of a bad way to do this, I feel like. Because the Boshi was the first one that I did, and the Tails was the last one I did, when I actually had figured out how to color things properly, using nodes. So yeah, maybe that was dumb. But hey, we all make mistakes. I cannot tell you how long it took me to like learn how to do any of this. Like you imagine that like it wouldn't take as long as it did, and I feel like under proper instruction it wouldn't have, but just the fact that I had to rely on YouTube and for all of my answers, and I had no one to go to with like glitches and stuff, so I had to like figure out how to fix my own glitches and like my own mishaps by myself. So that definitely made the process a lot longer than it should have been, I feel like. I don't know. Here's an interesting thing. So me and my friend went to, I'm a senior, by the way. So we went and visited Oklahoma Christian College in Edmond, Oklahoma, which, and that was really fun. I definitely recommend it to anyone who is a Christian and who, or not, like really it's a great college either way. But it's very, what's the word? It's very homey, I guess. Because there's a lot of like, there's not as many enrollments per year as there would be at a bigger Christian college like Lipscomb or like Harding. And I don't know how many people care who are watching this. My age range is probably younger than this, but anyway. We visited Oklahoma Christian. And the animation studio they had there, oh my goodness, it made me want to switch back to animation. Because I'm currently leaning more towards history, but the animation program there was crazy. They had actual, like, an entire green screen room, and they had those costumes that you put on when, like, to, so they can, like, map out your body movements. So you can have, like, someone actually acting something out and then have the joints directly connected to the armature, which is, like, whoa. I don't know if you guys are, like, understanding, like, half of what I'm saying about animation in this video, but just know that you've seen, like, animated movies or movies with, like, CGI and, like, oh, here's the Boshi animation. Yay, okay. Yeah, that was the most simple, just because I had it with this with this creature. If you look at it, those claws are blue, the sunglasses are blue. When he jumped and rolled, he left two of the spikes that were on his neck thing. He left them behind. Oh my. Anyway, that's the end of the video. It's been a while since I've shown my face on camera. Here's a picture of my face. So, thanks for watching, everyone, I guess. Like and subscribe. I'll try to get an actual animation out to you by January, hopefully. So, yeah, thanks so much for watching. Please like the video, subscribe. Check out some of my actual animations that were 2D animations. I'm pretty proud of those still. And yeah, that's all. Bye.